Mi gente,
But I can't.
mi gente. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Badahi?
I can hear you. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Here we are. What's up, people?
Everyone can hear Zach. Is that right? Everyone can hear me. That is right. Talk.
What's up? How's
Okay.
everybody doing tonight?
What
is it?
I
What
just
is
wanted
it
to make
tonight
sure.
in America? What night is it? It's a Monday night.
It's a beautiful Monday night back home from the motherland. I miss home.
I have no idea who Jacob Steve is. I don't think we've had him on the live stream before, but he's cracking me up.
I love daddies.
Hello, daddies. That's just funny.
You're my dad, I guess.
Wait, no, he would be our son at that point.
Yeah, true.
So
shout out to a bunch of new people
everybody
in the chat, man. Wow.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got some people who subscribed this week and are joining us, I think, for our first live stream.
That's
we
awesome.
do these three times a week.
Leading up to the season.
Leading up to the season. Sometimes 4 times a week. I'm just going to go through the chat and say, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Chase? What's up, Jacob? Tommy says, new Madden tonight.
Oh.
Plus, Zach, look out for a Patreon donation. Hell yeah, brother.
Okay. See you on the block, man. Hopefully it's the league. If not, no stress.
Well,
Either way,
I don't
we're
know
happy.
if Tommy's playing in the league, but I think he might be trying to get the Close Friends Plus, the fantasy hotline. So
either way, huge love.
Either way, yeah, big love for that. Hey, there's 14 people watching the stream right now. Could you do us a massive favor? Show us some love. Drop a like right now. Let's see if we can get to 25 together on this stream. Appreciate that, Tommy. Chase said, thanks for the Surprise Monday podcast. Hell yeah, bro. I'm glad that you joined it. How do I join the mock? All right, everybody. The way to join the mock draft, pretty simple. Join our Discord, okay? The link is in the description. I've also pasted a link in the chat. It's the solo.to/fantasyfootball. You have to join our Discord, and then at some point in the next 5 minutes, we're going to drop the link in the mock draft channel, and it will be free for all. Yep. Whoever gets in, gets
first
in.
Come, first serve here.
Let's see. What's up, Billy? Hey. I'm trying to make sure I said hello to everybody.
Billy, I will respond to your trade. I've just been chilling with the fam.
Well, Billy's in a follower league with us, and he's trying to get George Kittle off me, and it's just not going to happen, bro. You're not going to get George Kittle. So he is untouchable in Dynasty for me. Calder, what's up, my guy? He said, how do I get into a mock draft? Join Discord. Yep. Billy's. We should make Billy an admin at some point.
Honestly.
The music is getting me pumped. Yes. I am new here. What's up, Jacob? Thanks for joining, bro. A lot of people joining. Lakers said, had my draft yesterday. Interested in what y'all think of the team. Absolutely. Once we get it started, just drop your team, and we'll be happy to tell you about it.
Yeah.
What's up, Get Roger? What's up, Ahan?
Kebs?
What's up, Carter? What's up, fam? Trey, Barry? Okay, everybody's in the chat right now. Appreciate you guys for joining. Hey, we're going to go through the chat, but it's probably best that we start the mock draft sooner rather than later. So, can you do us a massive favor? There's 17 people watching. So, in theory, we should be able to get to 17 likes, potentially. Could you do us a massive favor? Drop a like on this video. Show us some love. Let's see what we can do in 3, 2, 1. Drop that like. And let's see if we can get some more people. That's just going to help us reach a wider audience, get some more community.
Yeah.
So again, if you want to join this mock draft, it's a redraft mock draft. Join our Discord. And in our Discord is where we're going to drop that link here soon. We have to tell you guys, okay? We have very limited spots left in our follower leagues.
Yeah, it's getting thin now.
Dynasty,
a couple people
redraft. Say again.
I said it's just getting thin. A couple people joined over the weekend or this past week, so it's getting there.
So if you want to join redraft leagues, let me see. There is five spots left. Yep, there's 5 spots left in our last redraft league. In our last dynasty league, there is 4 spots left. Okay.
Oh,
So if you
careful.
want to play in a redraft or a dynasty league with us, the link is actually pinned in the description. Okay, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. There's 3 tiers to join Badaki.
Yeah, 3 tiers to join if you want to play in redrafts, dynasty, or best of both worlds. Super simple, super easy. Patreon.com/fantasylandfam. The link is actually in the description currently right now. So if you want to just go check that out whenever you have time, sign up. Like we said, I think Zach said there was 4 spots in dynasty, and then 4 or 5 to 6 spots maybe in redrafts. Just
No, there's 5 spots in redraft, 4 spots in dynasty left.
Okay.
So once those are full, that's it. We're not going to start any more leagues.
We're doing apparently hopefully Tommy's going to join. If that's the case, if not, whatever the case may be, we're really excited. We cannot wait. Yeah. Once it's filled, we will be getting these drafts on immediately. So
yes. And we'll do them live.
And we're going to do them live
to see.
So we're pretty pumped.
Okay.
Go to Discord.
Join the Discord if you want to be a part of this mock draft, people. Okay,
the mock draft tab.
I'm going to paste the link one more time. And then do you want to tell people about this mock draft? Like what kind of mock draft we're doing?
So it's a regular 12-team PPR redraft mock draft. Really simple, super easy. I think there's 13 positions that you can take from. Obviously, it's really simple. QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, a flex, and then I think 6 bench spots. So essentially 7 bench spots. So super simple, super easy, just like a regular PPR mock draft. But yeah, super simple, super easy to kind of join. Go to Discord right now, actually, because the link is going to drop. Go to Discord, get ready. Go to the mock draft tab on Discord, okay? And then that link will be dropped because there's going to be a delay. So by the time you're hearing this, we probably already dropped the link. You never know. Unless we got the high-end internet speed and it's crazy.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. I'm pushing send in. The chat's hilarious right now. Here we go. Now, I want to say, if you don't get in, just hang. Don't worry, okay? Not everyone's going to get in. Here we go. Let's see how fast this fills up, Badaki.
I'm scared. We see
you can
one.
transition us to that other screen
3.
if you want.
We got a couple new people. We got Jacob, new, Cannon. Oh, that's not new. He's not. Cannon's Seesaw, Tebow. Okay, well, there it is.
There we are. We are full, people.
There it is. That's how simple. That's how quick. That's how fast.
So if you missed out, I see Trey Burr missed out. Alice missed out. Sorry, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, that happens.
It does.
But we are not going to randomize because what happens is when we do randomize, it kicks people out. Okay, so we're not going to randomize. But let's go ahead and get this started. It's a 12-man PPR redraft: 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and then 5 to 6 bench spots. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. 60 seconds on the clock. And by the way, everyone who's watching on YouTube, we are going to do a dynasty mock tomorrow. And then the next day, we're going to do a super flex redraft mock draft. Okay. Not dynasty. We're going to do a super flex redraft mock draft. It's something that we've really enjoyed doing lately. And hopefully you guys want to be a part of it as well. By the way, if you haven't ever been able to get into one of these mocks, what you need to do is DM us on Discord. Say, hey, I've never been in one of these mocks. Yep. We will make sure that you're in one of these mocks going forward, okay? That's why Ryan Raver is here, because he said, hey, it's my first time here. I want to be in a mock, and we were able to give him that mock draft link before we got on the live stream. We only do that for first-timers, just because we want to make sure that you feel included.
Yeah, have the opportunity.
Yes, sir. So a big shout out to everyone.
That's right.
Jacob is in. TNT, what's up, my guy? He said, hey, guys. What's up, Michael Monzo? Michael Monzo is a part of our redraft leagues. Appreciate you, bro. Big shout out to everybody. Okay, so let's start answering some of the questions in the chat. I'm going to catch up very quickly.
There's a lot of questions here. Okay, yeah. Let's go back.
Lakers said, okay, he's going to show us his team. Ahan said, quick question, guys. Ridley or D-Hop in redraft? Personally, for me, I'm going to go D-Hop, but Badaki might see that differently. They're back-to-back for me.
Let me just open up. I'm pretty sure it's Ridley for me as my wide receiver rankings. It's actually D-Hop. D-Hop is 1 spot. Yeah, they are back-to-back in my rankings as well. So DeAndre Hopkins, according to my
Yeah.
rankings.
I don't think you can go wrong between the two, if I'm honest with you.
None.
Lakers said half PPR redraft. His quarterback is Tannehill. Lance. Running backs are Aaron Jones, Najee, Dobbins, Sermons, AJ Dillon. Wide receivers Keenan, Gullen, Cup, Mike Williams, Bateman, and then his tight end is Troutman. I think that's a pretty good team. I mean, obviously, the big weakness there is Troutman.
Yeah,
he
tight end
is a guy that
position.
we like, but there is uncertainty there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, everyone else, I think great running back depth. The wide receivers are good. You got Bateman and a young rookie there. Troutman's decent. It looks all right. I actually don't mind it.
Yeah, agreed. Big love to everybody who's watching the stream right now. Can't appreciate you more. If you could do us a favor, drop a like, and let's see if we can get to 30 likes. Maybe together we can do it on the live stream. And then subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm on the clock, and you know the podcast that we had last week.
Oh boy.
I think you know what I'm gonna do here.
Oh boy.
I am absolutely obsessed with Austin Eckler this year, and I think especially in a PPR league, I feel like this guy has top 5 upside, and he's someone who was on pace with Justin Herbert to get 126 receptions. Okay, so I mean, it feels like a no-brainer pick for me to get Austin Eckler. He's actually my RB6 right now, so I would have picked him all the way at the 1.6. A lot of people are going to disagree, and that is okay. But I love Austin Eckler this year. If he stays healthy, I feel very confident that he's going to be an absolute star in fantasy this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Wow. If you want to listen to my reaction live on the podcast, we do have a podcast, by the way. I was baffled, taken astray. I was, I don't know.
Take it to the bank.
Wow.
Some people know. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm on the board here now, and I see Antonio Gibson. And why the hell not start Antonio Gibson, Austin Eckler? I love that combination, RB. Let's talk about some of the picks that got off the board. Obviously, you went Cook there, no surprise. I don't think, from 2 to 5, I don't think that there's really a wrong answer. I think a lot of people are getting caught up on, I think Cook is the consensus too, right? But let's say 3 to 5, Actually, I think Kamara should be the 3. But the 4 to 5, Zeke or Henry, I think that there's no wrong answer between the two.
Yeah, I think I'm always going to lean Zeke at the moment. I mean, even before this whole hard knocks thing, I was thinking that he was going to come back, bounce back. He lost a lot of weight. Dak Prescott is back. The offensive line, it looks like, is going to be back. And the weapons all around them. I mean, there's so many mouths to feed there, and Zeke is going to be the primary guy to be fed there. So I like Zeke.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and hopefully that Hard Knocks hype doesn't get too high for some of these Cowboy players, because y'all know what can happen. Chase says Eckler is his 7th running back. He has Aaron Jones right ahead of him, but it's close. Take it to the bank.
Sheesh.
I love it. Big love to everybody who's coming out to the stream tonight.
Sheesh.
By the way, so Calder didn't get in because he didn't have the sleeper. He didn't have an account for sleeper. It's okay.
No.
Now you're all set up. You should be good to go for the next one.
Yeah, should be all good.
Gosh, all right, but any picks that surprised you so far?
I just realized I had Twitch as a wrong title. So now we're PPR. There we go. Picks that surprised me so far? No, Tyreek Hill 1.7. I think that's a little bit too early in my personal opinion. And he just got auto pick. So Tyreek, D Hop. So Jacob, if you're here and you're listening, just switch off auto pick at the Q section. But no, I think everyone is kind of going where they go. Aaron Jones, there goes Najee. There's no surprise. There's a question
over here on Twitch, actually, from Use Creativity 26. What's up, bro?
What's good, brother?
I don't know if we've had you on the Twitch stream before, but welcome. Hopefully you could drop a follow if you like the content. He says, is Najee a hit or a bust this year?
Ooh.
It's a good question. I mean, I think
there he goes for following. Thank you so much, brother.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I think getting him at the 2.7 feels like great value. If Najee can be my RB2, I'm taking that to the bank literally every time.
Yeah.
Look, opportunity is king in fantasy. I think we have seen from Najee's collegiate career, and also just from the few preseason looks we've had at him, this guy is a dynamic back, okay? He can catch the ball. He can obviously run it down anyone's throat. This is a guy who I personally think is going to have a good year. And the 3 down back, he defines a 3 down back. Okay,
Yeah.
he's my RB12. He's your
My RB10 currently right now.
RB10. So
Yeah.
we both are Najee Harris believers for sure.
Yeah, I love Najee Harris. I mean, you just see I don't know if you watched preseason game, but there was a lot of work. There was a lot of bright things to be looking ahead for, and that wasn't even the starting offensive line with everyone on the field not focusing on Najee. So I think he's gonna surpass even much more than what we expected, in my personal opinion. But once again, I just could be hyping him up. But I love the man.
Yeah, no, I think Najee has a great opportunity to be a really good back. Jacob, if you're in the chat or if you're watching on YouTube, you are on auto. Guys, if you do join these mock drafts, make sure that you can actually be a part of them, because it is frustrating for people who weren't able to make it. And, it's okay. It happens. But for the people who, weren't able to get in, let's just make sure that if we're in, we're able to actually be a part of these mocks, because we don't want anyone on auto.
Yeah.
Okay, so you took Swift there at the 211 when there were still some really, really great wide receivers on the board. Just wanted to grab Swift.
I think like I'm gonna try this really. I mean, I always go for RB heavy, so I love getting my 3 RBs right off the bat, especially coming here and reaching at the 1.2. I'm gonna have to reach in some occasions. I'm looking at my rankings right now. There's a guy that I really like currently. I think it could be a little bit too early, but I'm actually happy taking him here, and that's Chris Carson.
Okay. Wow. So Chris Carson over. See, that's where I have an issue, though, personally. Like, I get where you're coming from, but there's such a different tier between Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson,
You're
Terry
right.
McLaurin, and like even George Kittle, Darren Waller. Like, there's such a massive teardrop between them and Chris Carson, where I have him tier ranked. So
I think for me,
I couldn't do that.
I take those guys, but on the comeback, I'm not going to have a running back. And then I'm at the 1.2. I know I can get great wide receiver depth. I'm going to take a late shot at a tight end, maybe in the mid rounds, maybe, super, super late. But at the 1.2, I think my strategy has to be super solid running backs, because I can get great value somewhere. Yes, I could have had Darren Waller and Keenan Allen at that spot, for example. And that would have been decent, but then I'm stuck with Dalvin Cook, and who's my RB2?
I'm not upset about the Swift pick. I just feel like there's such a massive drop off between.
Yeah. No, I definitely hear you. There is a massive drop off, but this is why we mock.
This is why we mock. Yeah, I mean Carson's one of those guys who's just constantly flown under the radar, constantly. Jacob, if you want to turn off auto pick, you have to go to Q tab, and then you just toggle it off there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be auto picked here. Big shout out to everyone watching on YouTube and Twitch. We got another question over there on Twitch. Growing the Twitch community over here, trying to hit affiliate. We'll see.
Hopefully.
Use Creativity says he's a huge Packers fan, and he wants to know about Robert Tonyan.
Oh, Big Bobby Trees.
Obviously their offense is stacked there in Green Bay, but he's just curious, what our thoughts are of Robert Tonyan this year.
For me, now that Aaron's back, I mean, he kind of comes back up to my original ranking. Not original, but let me kind of pull that up right now. For me,
I have him as my tight end 10, just to give you a reference.
Right. So for me, he's my tight end. He's my tight end 12 currently. Yes, I like Robert Tonyan. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is back, but I mean, they bought Randall Cobb. That's a big factor. I think that's really going to affect him. This is a guy that I'm not really targeting until the late rounds. This is not a guy that I'm really high on. So I just don't know. I mean, we saw a glimpse of him kind of succeeding last year.
The issue with Robert Tonyan, right? Like Aaron Rodgers had an MVP year, okay? And this guy's, I believe he saw like 50 receptions. So that's not a sustainable way to be a fantasy relevant tight end. I know that he's, gone to this, tight end university or whatever, and he's a great player.
Right.
But I am still skeptical on him being like a top 8 guy. I think he's got the upside, but He had 11 touchdowns last year, but only like 50 something receptions. So there should be, some regression this year for him in fantasy. I'm more skeptical than your average person.
No, I definitely agree. This is not a guy that I'm targeting. Once again, super high. I mean, tight end 12. I have Jonnu, Logan Thomas. Obviously those guys are normal, but maybe I have to reconsider Bobby Trees, taking him. Maybe
Bobby Trees, Bobby Tanyan. Anytime you say Bobby, it just feels good. Like it's just fun.
Actually, I had a really good friend that used to live on my block, down the block. He had the white fence. His name was Bobby. His name was actually Bobby Lopez. Shout out to Bobby Lopez if he's in the chat. I doubt it.
I don't think he's probably not in the
but
chat.
he lived on the block, and his sister name. I had a little crush on his sister probably when I was like 9 years old.
Oh, okay.
8 years old, and his sister name is funny because his sister name is actually Jennifer Lopez. But
no, it's not.
No, it's not Jennifer Lopez, but her name was Jennifer Lopez.
Wait, so her name is Jennifer Lopez, or it's not, because you're literally saying the opposite.
I'm not saying that the girl that I had a crush on was the Jennifer Lopez.
Obviously, I know it's not the Jennifer Lopez.
I'm just saying that it was the girl that lived on the block for me, and he had a sister. Her name was Jennifer. And it just so happened her name was Jennifer Lopez.
I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to be a little, but I have a lot.
Jenny from the block, yeah. And then we had man, classic. I miss home. Get me out of lockdown.
Oh my god, lockdown is the worst. All right, I'm gonna go grab.
Careful.
Oh,
be careful.
You know what's weird is I do need to update my rankings. All right, I'm gonna go grab Chris Godwin here. Just in a PPR league, I really believe that he's gonna have a great year. I love him as my wide receiver too.
Oh my goodness.
Big shout out to everyone in the chats. Really, really appreciate the comments and the community and the family. Drop a subscribe and a like if you haven't yet. Let's see. So Jacob said he was driving and now he had auto picked. It's okay, bro. But just so you know, if anyone's watching and you do join these mocks in the future, we typically start straight away once the links are sent out. But do not drive and mock. I think that's illegal. Laker says Brady or Tannehill. I'm going Brady. Badaki's going Brady. I sell WC. What's up, bro? I don't think we've had you in the chat before. Welcome. Drop a subscribe if you haven't yet. Thoughts on Damian Harris?
Love the man. He's a great guy. Great football player. I think he's a good, mid-round running back that you could definitely take as your RB3, maybe RB4, depending on how you have him. There's a lot of talks here now. I mean, even overnight, apparently in the Patriots practice, they were really rotating all these running backs, but I think Damian Harris is going to be the bell cow here.
Yeah.
Goal line guy taken away, especially if Cam Newton is no longer on the field mid-season, and Dak Matty Jones is going to take over. Then those goal line touches are definitely going to Damian Harris, which is great.
I was a fan of Damian Harris last year as like a late round steal, and unfortunately he had that wrist injury, I believe, before the year even began. I love Damian Harris. I think that he's going to have a great opportunity to be fantasy relevant. If I can have him as my RB3, then I'm cheering all day long. The end. What's up, bro? He said, guys, advice, please. My opponent for week 1 dropped Jamar Chase for Keelan Cole.
Wait, what? You got to have a conversation. That's actually like a conversation you have with the commissioner and say, hey, man, I don't think he actually meant to do that. But
I don't know. I would take advantage of it.
You take advantage. But if you are going to, I mean, at least
what the hell?
At least half. That's a lot. That's good depth. Is that too much?
Yeah. You know what's hard is like you don't want to overpay, but it is Jamar Chase.
I mean, when you mean
overpay, the guy who's going in like the 5th round of a lot of drafts.
Yeah, the guy is like a top 15, 20 wide receiver, and you're gonna pay.
How much fab do you have? Is a good question to start off with. How much fab do you actually have?
100 to start. Oh my god, I feel like people are definitely just gonna blow the 100.
Yeah, you know what? Some people could probably spend their entire fab on a guy like that. That is really difficult because, like, what would you do if Cooper Kupp was on the waiver wire? Because that's how some people view Jamar Chase. I don't view him that way. I still think we need to see what he's going to be. But man, I mean, yeah, I don't want to drop all of my fab, but it's Jamar Chase. This is such a difficult question to answer. Like, firstly, what the hell is wrong with the person who dropped Jamar Chase? Because that just doesn't make any sense at all. And it's probably their first year in fantasy, and you need to have them come over and subscribe to the podcast so we can help them out. I'm really struggling to like understand how someone just drops Jamar Chase. Look, 100 fab.
I think you have to. I think
I would drop 70, and then just hope that I get him. I don't know. Like,
I think there's no.
Because the reality is, if there's multiple people dropping 100,
it's first come first serve. Whoever did it first gets it. I'm assuming.
It depends on your league settings, but potentially. Oh my God. Yeah, honestly, I would probably contact the commissioner, because the reality is everyone's probably going to drop 100 on Jamar Chase, right?
That's what I think.
And you have a very slim chance of getting him, which means that's going to disadvantage you. So I would hit the commissioner up and be like, what the hell is going on? Like, what can we do about this? And if he says nothing, he says nothing, but it's just questionable. He said this guy dropped John Brown for Wayne Gallman, Tariq Cohen for Emmanuel Sanders, Blake Jarwin for Jared Goff. Not all his moves are bad. Not all of his moves are bad, but I mean, you don't drop Jamar Chase. You at least get some trade value for him. That doesn't make sense to me, but there goes Jamar Chase off the board at the 5-2 to Badaki. I cannot take him that high, but I'm glad that, why don't you talk about him?
I like him. I think he's I think he's going to see a lot of action. I think he will be the wide receiver one there. I think he will get used and utilized and put into this offense. I mean, we saw that screen, wide receiver screen in preseason, that was probably created for him. So I see a lot of things like that kind of happening. Obviously, it's really early. Maybe it's preseason hype that's kind of getting me, a little bit more comfortable with the Jamar Chase. But the people that were on the board, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Kenny G, obviously Michael Thomas just went, somebody that I'm not taking. I'm happy to take Jamar Chase as my wide receiver 2 there. So I have a lot of hope and belief for him.
Yeah, personally, I mean, I just can't take Chase that early. You guys know, if you listen to our podcast, you know my thoughts on it. But I mean, we're drafting him so high as if he's like guaranteed to break out.
Thanks for subscribing, brother. Thank you so much, man. The end.
Hey, thanks for the sub. We're at 890 people, which means we're 110 subs away from 1,000. That's crazy.
If you're not subscribed and you're watching currently right now, please subscribe. That actually really helps us out. I mean,
you're making us sound desperate, bro.
I mean, I'm desperate. No, no, we actually really appreciate it. We appreciate you. Imagine that fairy tale story. Talk it up, and it's 999, and then we hit the 1,000. Ooh,
yeah.
Come on, that's a round of applause. I
wouldn't mind hitting it before, but who knows?
I mean, do I have yeah, that's what we want to hear. Come on. That's
someone please help. Let's see. So where do you see? Sorry. So just to answer your question, and I think, dropping 100, it's so difficult, man. I don't want to be in my season without any fab. And the volatility of all the outcomes for Jamar Chase this year, there's all these different outcomes for him. So it worries me. I'll be honest, it does worry me to spend all my fab. But I would say talk to the league commissioner first.
Yeah. Unless another thing you can do that's
you have to think about it.
That's
though,
really
dude.
dog.
You have to think about how valuable the waiver wire is for real. Like, think about all the people in the waiver wire last year that helped win championships. Justin Jefferson was a waiver pickup, right? James Robinson was a waiver pickup. Justin Herbert was a waiver pickup. So that's why I'm hesitant to spend all my fab on one player. Like, there's just so many good, especially like if you want to stream and you're in a hard place. And I'm so glad that Javonte Williams fell to me at the 5'11". I'm going to grab him and I'm not going to think about it. So I'm just hesitant to do that. Anyway, that's how I feel.
I think one last thing so we can kind of end that conversation is, if you really want to do something dog or something maybe 200 IQ, what you do is trade somebody for some fab. Okay, you trade a low-end player that you don't care about, and then you put that 100 on there, knowing that the other fab is going to be coming in. Don't you think
everyone in that league is going to know what you're doing at that point? Because, like, there's no secret about who's available.
Maybe, but you got to take the chance. Maybe some people are
Okay.
like, oh, I don't want Jamar Chase. Who cares? You know, maybe they can get somebody that they're really high on that you're probably selling that you're not high on. So
Yeah. Lots of questions in each chat. We're gonna get to them, I promise, if
yeah,
you've
let's
asked a
do
question.
this.
I want to talk about Michael Thomas at the 5-4. This
Okay.
is why you absolutely have to know where players are right now. Michael Thomas is probably not going to play for the first 8 to 10 weeks, guys. So to draft him in the 5th round, absolutely should not have done that, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, the
I agree.
earliest I think you should draft him is a 10th, 11th round. A lot of people would say that is harsh, but I just don't want to have Michael Thomas sitting on my bench for 8 to 10 weeks, and then you're not even going to be confident to start him. You know what I mean? Like when he does come back. So hopefully, that helps people. Let's see. Where do you see Hawk going in redrafts? I think, where did he go here?
5-1.
5-1.
That's decent.
I think he goes
That's
around
a
the
good.
4th, 5th round, like late 4th, mid 5th is where I see Hawkinson going personally. Um, yeah, Billy said 1K by week 1. Spread the word. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Ooh.
1,000 subscribers by week 1. Who knows? It could happen, people. It could happen.
I really
We're
hope.
at 891 right now. All right, over on Twitch, we're going to answer some
Yeah,
questions here.
Jars. I said I found out
Yeah.
I can either keep Dobbins or Ayuk. Would you guys still go Dobbins?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I mean,
I would keep Dobbins.
I think it's a
The
running
depth
back.
at wide receiver is so
Yeah.
vast compared to running backs.
We got another guy who use creativity. I think he just described. Do you guys put out fantasy cheat sheets, PPR and non-PPR?
We do put out rankings, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say it's
our,
not necessarily cheat sheets, but it is.
I mean, essentially, you can download them to like a cheat sheet if you have Fantasy Pros or whatever. You can use our rankings in a cheat sheet. But we do give out our rankings to all of our Patreon supporters. So it doesn't matter what tier you're on. Every tier on Patreon unlocks our rankings. We have redraft, dynasty, and rookie rankings, and they're updated. Well, during the season, they'll be updated weekly. But right now we update them every other week. So they'll be updated really soon, actually, and posted to Patreon for you guys for draft season. And actually, this week we are going to have a podcast with the top 10 at each position, where we break down our rankings, our final rankings. Now, they could change, but we want to give you everything you need for draft season to succeed. So on our podcast and our YouTube channel, we'll be having top 10 rankings at each position this week that we're going to break down. But if you want to have all of them unlocked, and from Banaki and I, our individual rankings, then all you have to do is sign up to our Patreon. Any tier unlocks our rankings for you. And there's a lot of exclusives over there. Patreon.com/fantasylandfam to sign up. If you're on Twitch, it's in the about. If you're on YouTube, it's in the description. Let's see. So Kindle over here on YouTube says, I'm not drafting, but he loves teams 3 and 2 so far.
That's me.
Oh,
wow!
I did notice.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I'm just really hyped that I got Jerry. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, how frustrating was it watching Jerry Jeudy with Drew Lock, and just like he was doing great throwing bombs, but like those slants and like where you actually need to place the ball,
he can't do it.
It was just super frustrating. Like he's just not that
he
guy.
He just can't do it, bro. That is so frustrating, but still hope for Jerry. Get Teddy in.
Billy says, beyond Najee and Etienne, what rookie running back do you see stepping up into a bigger role first?
Oh my
Javonte.
goodness. Yeah, it has to be Javonte. It's Javonte, probably Michael Carter. Trey, Trey, I had a thought. I rewatched the game again. I feel like they're going to start Trey really slow. Maybe it's just, once again, it's preseason. It's super early. But I don't know. It felt weird. I didn't feel comfortable watching Trey play, which is weird to say.
That's weird because I think the overall consensus is that he played pretty well.
Oh, I'm not saying that he didn't play well. I'm just saying that it didn't feel like, once again, he didn't feel like he was comfortable. It didn't feel like he kind of knew what he was doing. He's probably still getting acclimated to the offense, which is fair. But I don't know. Like he didn't like wow me, but he did play great. It was like, wow, he got some touches. Yes. I mean, Trey to Trey, that would be crazy. But Trey Sermon,
Trey Bebe.
I don't know. It feels a little bit slow to me, but it just could be the first preseason game. So
yeah, it happens. Big shout out to everyone watching on YouTube and Twitch. Drop a follow on Twitch. Drop a sub on YouTube. Big love, guys. We've been amazed about how this community has grown in the off season, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we got big plans for a second channel, which we're not gonna reveal too much yet. But
Yeah.
you know, I mean, that pretty much revealed everything there.
If you can find it, then kudos to you. And then it's still early stages, but we do have a lot of great plans. If you don't know, we're doing a show every Sunday night football, and can we probably say confirm Thursday night football?
Yeah,
Yep.
Thursday night and Sunday night footballs. We'll have a live show for you guys.
Mm-hmm. We'll have a live show. We're going to be going live on Twitch and on YouTube. The show's called Talk It Up.
Talk it up.
And if you guys don't know, we currently live in Sydney, Australia, so we're going to be watching the games. Zach, obviously, if lockdown is out here in Sydney, we're in lockdown currently. And if we get out, then we can be together. But if not, we're still going to do the best. We're doing giveaways there. We have a lot of cool stuff kind of happening, and we're just really excited. Whether we're together in the live stream or not, it's still going to be pumping it up because it's week 1 of football. Come on.
Yeah. No, we're hyped.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that.
And by the way, if you are curious why we don't talk about all these players, it's just because we address the chat. And, I've seen some people comment on previous mock drafts where they're like, hey, you should really be talking about every single player. Well, what we do at the very end is we actually give out draft grades, and that's where we kind of break down people's teams. And maybe we were a little bit harsh on our previous draft grades. And, but with that being said, we are going to give out draft grades for you guys at the very end where we're going to talk about every single one of these players. It's just so hard to keep up with, the chat and with all the players, and we want to make sure you guys feel included as well. So here I am on the board.
Here we go. Let me see. Just best available. Show the people what's happening here.
And
you got Lamar.
For me, I think. Sorry,
I didn't know you had Lamar. Sorry, continue. I don't want to waste your time.
Yeah. I'm cheering getting Lamar in the 6th. There's someone on the board who is ahead of everyone else for me, and I've talked about how much I like him. I've made it very clear, very obvious, and that's fuck.
Got the wrong person.
It was not Juju. I just got auto picked. 30 seconds on the clock, people. Well, we'll see if he comes back to me. I did not want Juju.
Well, great
there.
guy, great player. He's a little bit higher for me, and it's not Juju here. But it's okay.
That's what happens when you try and set up a pick and get people hyped about it. God damn it. Well,
if he got picked, then might as well talk about it.
He's still there. Okay, so I wish I could have gone Laviska, Tyler Boyd, but instead I'm gonna go Juju and Laviska Shenault. I love Laviska Shenault. I think he's got great upside this year, and I think he's going to be used in a variety of different ways there in Jacksonville. So to have him as my wide receiver 3, he's not my wide receiver 4. I didn't want Juju, but shit happens. Here we are. I feel pretty decent about the team so far. Also, how crazy? Can we just talk about how crazy it is? Like the difference of where Lamar Jackson was drafted last year to this year. You could not find a draft where Lamar didn't go in the 1st round last year.
No way.
Now he's slipping to the 6th round. I mean, if he's available in the 6th round and you haven't got a quarterback yet, I feel like you have to go grab him, especially a guy who has that dual threat.
That's right. There goes the quarterback.
Although I will say Justin Herbert and Russell Wilson in the 8th round is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
too.
that's nasty.
So it's interesting how this draft has fallen.
That's nasty, boy. Be careful. Be careful. Nah. Yeah. Look.
All right. Is there any picks so far that surprised you? Let's just highlight some picks so far from the draft. I'll say, Kelsey at the 112. That's not a surprise. I'm trying to see any picks that might surprise me. Darrell Henderson at the 3-7. That's probably a surprise. That might be too early.
I think that was auto pick too, if I'm not mistaken.
Jacob might be driving again. Let's see. Michael Thomas. Obviously, we talked about how that was too early for Michael Thomas. Carter at the 6-7. That's interesting.
I think everyone,
because there was still James Robinson, Ronald Jones, Damian Harris on the board. Is that too early for Michael Carter? Personally, I say yes. Do you say?
I mean, it's probably 1-2 spots. Yeah, I think I would take both of those guys over. I'm on the clock here, and I'm happy because my boy came. Let me just double check. Hold on. Wide receivers. Oh Okay.
Anyway, I do think that's a little bit too early for Michael Carter. If I can just jump in there, I do think I would take Ronald Jones, Damian Harris over him. Probably even James Robinson. I know that sounds crazy, but I think he's still going to have a role early on, and I can trade him later on when ETN emerges. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. How do you feel about it?
Um, yeah, I agree with you. I'm definitely taking those two guys over Michael Carter. Um, I love Ronald Jones. Damian Harris obviously is the guy that I took. I was hoping Ronald Jones was going to fall to me at that 6'11" spot, but I was happy with either of those guys. So, yeah, I agree. Michael Carter is not somebody that,
We're excited about him. I
yeah,
love him in Dynasty, but
he's currently
it's
my
just
RB2 just because Cam Akers freaking dogged me.
you need to leave room for it to be a steal. In the sixth round, it still could be, but who knows what that running back room will look like. By the way, I mean, look, Michael Carter looked pretty good in preseason, and
Hmm.
that offensive line, more importantly, looked like it was ready to support a real run game.
They are
So
going. One thing they kept saying, and maybe like I'm just taking it too far, was that Robert Saleh wants. It feels like this is what the announcer is saying. Robert Saleh wants this team to be, or it's they. He believes. Sorry, let me restart that. Robert
whoa,
Saleh.
wow, that's a long headline.
It is all right. Robert Saleh believes he will have the youngest starting team in like history in the NFL, which means that there's going to be a lot of rookies and a lot of year two players that are going to be
Yeah.
starting. Which I believe it's going to be. Michael Carter will definitely be either RB2 or RB1, but it looks like it didn't feel like Tevin Coleman was part of that offense at all. Obviously, maybe he was
Well,
getting
we
rested.
can't
I
take
know,
too much from this first couple weeks though,
and you're
because
right.
Justin Herbert didn't start. Austin Eckler. I mean, all these starters didn't play, and so I
Mm-hmm.
think really like preseason, the last preseason game is where we can start drawing some conclusions.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely talk about it too. Maybe we should go live on that day. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
depends on what the people want.
the people want everything.
Do they? Do they want it? So Jacob says that he doesn't like his team. By the way,
It's okay.
I
It
think
happens.
going wide receiver to start a draft always puts you in a slightly difficult position. I mean, I will say that team eight though, like Adams Diggs, if you're gonna start wide receiver, that feels like the way to do it. But yeah, it does put you in a pretty difficult position when you do start wide receiver, wide receiver. Don't you think?
Golder. Yeah, it definitely puts you in a tough position. I always like to go RB heavy. If you guys don't know, running backs for me in a PPR redraft league is crucial. It's
Yeah.
absolutely crucial.
The thing is, if you lead a redraft draft with more running backs than anyone else that are like actual serviceable running backs, then typically you have a lot of trade bait as well going forward.
Mm.
Let's see.
Pick your pick, and then we'll answers. We'll kind of talk about what Chase is gonna just said
Yeah.
here.
By the way, I'm excited about Dallas Goddard. I think that Jalen Hurts doesn't look comfortable, so he's going to I'm going to have to make a panic pick here. 30
Panic pick.
seconds is so much. I love Darnell Mooney though, so I'm not upset about getting him in the 10th round.
So Chase said I don't like R. Jones. Entire Jacksonville backfield could be just a big committee. I'm assuming either you're talking about Ronald
That's
Jones or you're talking
our
about James Robinson. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Damian Harris is it's only appealing to me when Mac Jones becomes a starter, and I don't think he starts for a while. Look,
Yeah,
yeah, that could be the case. Who really knows? But I think for me, I like Damian Harris, especially why I took him at the spot with all these other running backs. He was the last probably running back that I believe can really give you some sort of good fantasy relevance besides Gus Edwards, Naeem Hines, those guys, a Tony Pollard. But that's at least somebody I'm comfortable starting in a week to week basis.
yeah,
But yeah, it could be interesting. But I definitely do agree. Like Damian Harris, I think kind of skyrockets or definitely goes up significantly when Mac
Is the
Jones is
starter.
is on the field. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. If you're watching this later on and you want to be a part of one of these mock drafts, you can join our Discord. Link is in the description to join Discord. So Yeah, hope that helps. What's up, the big Connor? Haven't seen you over there on Twitch yet. We just started over there on Twitch a couple weeks ago, so the community's still growing on there. But appreciate you tuning in. Drop a follow if you haven't yet. And thanks for joining the stream.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
huge love.
So again, guys, we do give out draft grades at the very end of mocks, and we'll talk about all the individual players. Kendall says Justin Fields will be starting by week 3. He could
Definitely could.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on how those first games go. Honestly, it depends on what happens. Chase says I would rather trade for Damian Harris midseason. Right. So he would rather trade. I get it.
Okay. Yeah,
I think there are a lot of players I like, but I'm probably going to trade for them.
Yeah, and I can definitely see where you're coming from. I think it's hard, at least for me. Like if I knew Damian Harris, and I believe Mac Jones will start probably midseason, Damian Harris could be a guy in my flex position or in a bye week position that's actually really comfortable. Then maybe I'll keep him. Maybe I'll keep it depending on how my bye weeks look or whatever the case may be. But I agree. I see both sides on Damian Harris for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming to the end here.
So Mike Gesicki and then Robert Tonyan. Yeah, I do wish that I drafted Elijah Moore, but I think Mooney and Moore are probably going to be finishing in a similar area this year. I think they both have similar opportunities within their offenses to make an impact.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cortland Sutton at the 8-3. Let's talk about Antonio Brown at the 8-8 here for Gator. You guys know how much I love Antonio Brown, and I have talked about him as a sleeper wide receiver this year, but that's because I could get him in the 11th round. So I'm not sold on getting Antonio Brown in the 8th round. That does feel like potentially reaching on the value. What about you though, Badaki? Do you get what I'm saying? You might not have been listening.
No, sorry. Ellen kind of came in and we got a package that we were waiting for a long time.
Oh, okay.
I remember you were talking about Cortland Sutton. Hey, please.
See, I told you he wasn't listening. That's all right. But anyway, personally, I think that it is a little bit of a reach there. I don't think that you should be taking Antonio Brown that early. Definitely wait on him for him to become a value. Otherwise, I want AB as my wide receiver 4, not my wide receiver 3.
So Antonio Brown, you're talking about his value and where he went at the 8-8. Yeah, some people that went after him: Michael Pittman, a Chalk, a Mooney, Curtis Samuel. Maybe taking him there yet is a little bit too early.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit difficult. There's a lot of talks that this guy is going to be integrated into this offense and that he's finally healthy. He's finally has a full season under his belt with this team, or at least, can kind of come in, start week 1 and be a starter where Tom Brady is going to integrate him and make sure that he's going to get touches and get looks. So it's interesting. I mean, maybe the 8-8 is a little bit of a stretch, but I'm actually happy taking him into the 8th, early 9th. But once again, I'm not. This is coming from a person that's not high on AB. This is not something I'm targeting at all. So it's interesting.
I think if I get him in the 10th, 11th, I'm happy, but I can't take him any earlier than that.
Right.
I'm also like slightly upset that Marvin Jones went off the board because I was hoping that he was going to fall. He didn't fall, and that's okay. I'm going to grab Corey Davis here.
Yeah, that's good.
I've got a lot of wide receivers, and I definitely don't love the mock that I've just done. So
okay.
It is what it is. But I was hoping that Tevin Coleman would fall to me in the 12th round. He's my RB4. If he is a starter, even for 3 weeks, right, and getting him in the 12th round, I feel pretty confident that I can move him, before that, role changes to Michael Carter. But let's say he puts up 10 points in back-to-back weeks. I'm going to try and move him on for like a Gus Edwards or maybe a Hines or something that potentially will give me more long-term value. I definitely don't like the way my running backs look in this mock draft, though. I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah, three running backs here. Tevin Coleman. Yeah, that's why I went with the 3 because I knew I can get a Ronald Jones, Damian. I was hoping, one of those Michael Carter guys to kind of fall to me in that round. Yeah, so that's why I kind of solidify. That's why I like to solidify my running backs early, and then I'm happy with the wide receiver depth. Brandon Ayuk, Jamar Chase, Jerry Jeudy, with Michael Pittman and Rashad Bateman at the 11, 12. That's crazy. I think that's great. And I
got a question from Adithya. Okay, so what are your guys' thoughts on Godwin for the upcoming season? I'm excited about Godwin. We've actually released a video on YouTube where we basically, discuss Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and let me find out what that's actually titled so you can watch it later if you'd like to.
Yeah,
it's called Chris Godwin or Mike Evans. Who will have more fantasy? Who will we have more fantasy stock of in 2021? I'm pretty excited for both of them, honestly. If you guys know, my takes on Tom Brady, that I think that he could finish with 50 plus touchdowns this year. I think it's a real possibility, which means that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are both going to be great values in fantasy drafts. I think when you look at the target share, specifically in the playoffs, when everyone was healthy, Chris Godwin got like 10 more targets in the playoffs compared to Mike Evans. So I do think that Godwin has a much better year this year. I think that Brady's going to be able to rely on him. And there's not a wrong answer between Evans and Godwin. They're both going to be very valuable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They're both going to be valuable. I think we both agreed that we were going to take Chris Godwin over Mike Evans. This guy that's going to be playing in the slot, or at least we believe he's going to be playing in the slot this year. So I'm excited. I think everyone in this team is going to be fantasy relevant. It's just, I think the only person that we're kind of iffy about is, at least for me, is AB and like what his value is. He can be a guy that can finish, top 10 as a wide receiver or not at all.
Yeah.
So
what would you say? AB could finish top 10?
I think so. Yeah. That's soul to squeeze. Thank you for following, brother.
Come on.
First time viewer. How is the lads? Good, man.
How are the lads? We're good.
Ooh, I'm on the
How
clock
are you,
here.
brother? Thanks for joining the stream, bro.
Yes.
8 people on Twitch watching right now. That's crazy, guys.
Shout out to you guys.
Drop a follow on Twitch if you haven't yet. We go live 3 to 4 times a week right now doing mock drafts. You can actually join us. We are answering questions, yes. And we also want to let you know that we have a live show coming up this year called Talk It Up, where...
Hey, Red Bird, thank you so much for following as well, man. Appreciate you.
We got a follow train going on right now on Twitch. We have a live show coming up this year on Twitch and YouTube. It's called Talk It Up. We're going live for Thursday night and Sunday Night Football. And we're basically going to talk about it and just vibes. It's going to be bants. We're going to react to it. And if you got no one to hang out with, then now you do have someone to hang out with for those games. Yeah, I know. I want to quickly address the AB top 10. Like, that's just ridiculous.
I'm saying
that's not going to happen.
I'm not saying I don't mean. I meant like in a week. Like he could probably finish.
You're saying any week he could finish as a top 10.
Exactly.
That makes more sense.
Now he's not going to finish as a top 10 at the end of the year.
I'm like, bro, what's this dude freaking? What are you on right now? All right, everyone on Twitch, really appreciate it. Golden Dude, what's up, my guy? Drop a follow if you haven't yet over here on Twitch. We're brand new on Twitch. And yes, we do have a Twitch, Adithya, by the way. Twitch.tv/fantasylandfootball. He says, who wins this trade? Robert Woods, Logan Thomas, and Mike Davis for Zeke.
Whoa.
I mean, very clearly the side of Robert Woods, Logan Thomas, and Mike Davis, in my opinion.
Yeah, you just get a lot of
not
depth
even
there.
Close.
You get a good, decent receiver. You get a decent, at least in our minds, top 10 tight end. Mike Davis is the guy that maybe he doesn't get all the workload, but he's a guy that can definitely win you some weeks. So, interesting. For Zeke, I mean, I love Zeke. Don't get me wrong. And, I mean, at the moment, he's my RB5. But look at the depth that you're getting there in that trade. So,
yeah. Personally, I think you absolutely have to take the side of Mike Davis, Robert Woods, Logan Thomas. Redbird said, are you guys doing another mock tonight? We won't be doing another mock tonight, but we do have...
Shout out to you.
I think that's a big shout out for the follow. We got a lot of people follow on Twitch right now. This is awesome. Thanks, guys.
Shout out to you, man.
We don't have another mock draft tonight. We are about to do draft grades for this mock draft. But if you want to be a part of mock drafts in the future, in the about section of our Twitch, you'll find our Discord. You can join that, and that's where we give out all the information to join those mock drafts. And we have a Dynasty mock draft tomorrow night. We have a Superflex mock draft the night after. So,
Yeah. If you want, join the Discord so you don't miss a mock, and we're going to be giving the links out on there. Usually always 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. So join the Discord. That's also in the description as well. Really super simple. We have a bunch of people in the community. It's really awesome.
What's up, Jose, over there on YouTube? He says, what do you think about Kelsey with the first pick and then RB wide receiver? Firstly, I don't think we've seen you on the live stream before, so welcome. Thanks for joining. Drop a subscribe if you haven't yet. I love the idea of starting with Kelsey if your pick's like 10, 11, 12. I know I was, but I'm much higher on Austin Eckler than other people are, so I just wanted to grab him there and hope that Kelsey, fell to me. But I think if you can start Kelsey and then get like a Eckler or a Gibson, Chubb, a Clyde, I think that's a really, really good way to start your draft. Probably not Clyde because you don't want, I personally don't want same players, but then you come around to, the third round and probably get like a CD or an Allen Robinson. So I think it's a good way to start a draft for sure. All right, we're going to answer a couple questions and then we're going to do mock draft grades.
Mock draft grades, that's right.
Soul2 Squeeze says 10-team standard 2 QB league. Landed first overall pick. I'm leaning Mahomes, but obviously CMC and even Henry are potential picks.
I think if it's a 2 quarterback league and the quarterbacks are heavy, you have to go quarterback here. Mahomes.
Yeah, I'll go Mahomes.
Landed first overall, it has to be Mahomes. We're gonna do a PPR redraft with a 12 team,
especially
on Wednesday
league.
night. Yeah, so definitely join that if you want. Once again, join the Discord, and then we can kind of walk you through that and what we think, what we would do. But we would definitely go quarterback in that position, especially in a 2 quarterback league.
You gotta go Patty at that point. All right, let's do some mock draft grades.
Yeah, here we go. Do you want to do the first one?
Yeah, we'll do these in like 30 seconds or less. By the way, guys, we will answer any questions in the chat. So if you drop any questions on Twitch or on YouTube, we will answer them after we do these mock draft grades, okay? Socks, you got CMC, Travis Etienne, Leonard Fournette, Devin Singletary. Wide receivers are A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Kenny Golladay, Devontae Parker, T.Y. Hilton. Tight ends are T.J. Hawkinson, Rob Gronkowski, and your quarterbacks are Ryan Tannehill, and Jalen Hurts. Okay. So you guys know how much I hate Jalen Hurts, but it's gotten to the point where he's fallen so far that it's just stupid not to pick him. Like, this is a guy in a redraft league who will be the starter this entire year. It will be a bad team, but how the hell did Jalen Hurts fall to the 11-1? That seems like great value to me, and I think that you'll have some trade bait there for someone.
Yeah.
Between your 2 quarterbacks. I love that you got Hawkinson, so you don't have to worry about tight ends. This is a great team. I'm not going to even lie. I mean, this is a great team. The one, if I can nitpick at anything, is probably the depth at running back. What will Etienne's role be to start off? But I think between Etienne and Fournette, you have enough to fill in as an RB2, where the rest of your team is probably going to dominate. So this is an A- team for me. It's hard to not be a good team when you have CMC. Start off. So this is a good team.
Should we grade our own or no?
Yeah, we can grade it. Do a quick version of our own.
Go ahead. You go for it. You can grade mine.
I'll grade it. Yeah, sorry. Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Swift, Chris Carson, Damian Harris, Marlon Mack. Wide receivers are Brandon Ayuk, Jamar Chase, Jerry Jeudy, Michael Pittman, Rashad Bateman, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Quarterback is Joe Burrow. Tight end is Mike Gesicki. Obvious weak positions for you is quarterback and tight end. But I think looking at the rest of your squad, you've done well enough to this is a good squad. I mean, Damian Harris is the RB4. While none of those wide receivers are elite in my eyes this year, I think there's enough to still win some games. And you also have some good depth there with Pittman and Bateman and St. Brown. So this is a good team. I'm going to also give this an A-. I mean, starting with Dalvin Cook, it's hard to lose.
Let the man cook. Cold world, real cold world. Alvin Kamara, JJ, Ronald Jones, David Jackson, DK Metcalf, Adam Thielen, Jarvis Landry, Hollywood Brown, Rondell Moore with Kyle Pitts, Tyler Higbee, and then Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields. just in case the man starts. This is a good team. I like your running backs, all of them. I think David Johnson. What is the role going to look like? It looks like he's not going to have so much of a role, but who knows? Kyle Pitts at the 5. I think everyone knows, at least me, I wouldn't take Kyle Pitts at the 5, but I think it's still great talent.
Same.
I would have taken TJ Hawkinson. He was already off the board. Sorry. I would have taken a Noah Fant, a Dallas Goedert, a Logan Thomas.
Whoa, not the 5.
At the 5, at least for me, I think in the quarterback.
No way. You're
One,
taking them
two,
over
three,
Pitts?
4, 5. Yeah, Kyle Pitts was a.
Well, that's terrible value
four,
to take
five,
Noah Fant at the 5th.
Well, for me, he's my tight end 8. So I would have taken.
Well, then maybe
Noah
you
Fant.
just wouldn't take a tight end there, is what you're saying.
Yeah, Noah Fant. I would have taken Noah Fant, in my personal opinion, over Kyle Pitts. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, great talent. He's probably going to do something great over there anyway. So either way, it's a good pick. I like this team. Wide receiver depth is a little bit shaky, but I'm gonna give this a B+. This is a decent team.
Okay. I like Kyle Pitts. He's my tight end 5. What I do agree with is that I don't think I'm gonna have him in a lot of redraft leagues because I don't want to spend the price it would take to grab him.
Right.
All right, Tommy. You've got Zeke, J.K. Dobbins, Melvin Gordon, Zach Moss, Chuba Hubbard, Ramondre Stevenson. You always got to get a Patriot in there.
It has to.
Your wide receivers are Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, Devonta Smith, Henry Ruggs. This is a clear weakness for your team. Your tight end is Mark Andrews and Troutman. I like it. And then your quarterback is Stafford. I like it as well. This is a good team. Okay. I think the weaknesses for me, Michael Thomas in the 5th round, that kills you. That absolutely kills you taking Michael Thomas in the 5th. Honestly, guys, if you want our advice, just avoid Michael Thomas. If you see him on the board, forget he's there.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go through that pain this year in a redraft league. And then obviously Melvin Gordon, Zach Moss will do well enough to fill as your RB3. I'm just not high on those guys. This is a B-flat team. They're still good depth. But personally, I think that Michael Thomas pick, the 5th round is so crucial. I think that kind of hurts you. So I'm going to have to give it a B-flat.
Okay, Tebow fan. You got the King, Kareem Hunt, James Robinson, James Conner, and Latavius Murray, Calvin Ridley, Julito, AB, Mike Williams, Gabriel Davis, and Josh Palmer with Darren Waller, and then TB12. I think we spoke about it. AB is a little bit too high. There's some couple guys we would have taken over him in that position. Derrick Henry there at the 5. I think that's great with Kareem Hunt. That's good. James Robinson. It looks like he's going to have some sort of role coming into the season. What that looks like, we don't know. I think Latavius Murray is decent as a backup just in case something happens to Alvin Kamara. He also could be having a role. What's a weakness here for me? It's a good team. I think maybe wide receiver depth. Yes, AB could be a wide receiver, your wide receiver 3, but once again, I would have taken a Michael Pittman as my wide receiver 3 over him. Maybe a Chark potentially, a Mooney potentially. All those guys, AB is a little bit too high there for sure. That's about it. I think the weakest part here, in my personal opinion, is a wide receiver depth. I'm not excited to start Mike Williams, Gabriel Davis, or Josh Palmer if any of these guys goes down. Your top 2 goes down. So I think that's probably the weakest point there for me. But everywhere else is good. Darren Waller, obviously, top 3, top 2, tight end. So I think it's a B flat for me.
Okay. All right, Chase.
Oh boy.
You've got Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Michael Carter back, Naeem Hines, Xavier Jones. I like the running back room there. Your wide receivers are Cooper Kupp, Robbie Anderson, Tyler Boyd, Elijah Moore, Michael Gallup, Terrace Marshall. So there's no elite wide receivers there. I think the Kupp, Anderson, and Boyd combo will be, a good 3 to kind of make things happen, but there's no elite. You do have an elite tight end in George Kittle and an elite quarterback in Kyler Murray. So this is a good team. Obviously, like I said, the clear weaknesses is the overall wide receiver room. But I still think in a PPR league, there's enough volume there for this to be a team that could contend. So my issue is Aaron Jones at the 1.6. I can't get there. I can't make that pick. Eckler is someone I would take over him. Same with Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, and Antonio Gibson. So I like Jones. I'm just not as high on him as other people. So that's going to have to make me put this team as a B plus. But this is a very, very good team. I just think there's a couple things I would have done differently. And I could be very wrong about Aaron Jones. It's just my thoughts. I like Aaron Jones, but I personally think that it's very obvious that Aaron Rodgers is going to have the ball in his hands. And while Aaron Jones is going to win you weeks, he's also going to lose you weeks. Like I was an Aaron Jones owner in a lot of leagues last year, redraft leagues, and I didn't like starting him. It gave me like anxiety because one week he would kill it and the next week he would completely disappear. So, yeah.
All right, Jacob. Couple here all were auto draft, if I'm not mistaken. Tyreek Hill, D Hop with Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller. I think that's the clearest weakness there for me is that wide receiver room. Darrell Henderson, Miles Sanders, Raheem Mostert, Kenyon Drake, Gus Edwards, Rashad Penny, and Tariq Cohen. I think this is a good, decent running back room. I think your 2, 4, 5, the top 5 running backs are good in my opinion, with Noah Fant and then Josh Allen. Once again, I just think it's your wide receiver room that really lacks depth, even though you had a couple picks that were auto-picked. And I think this is a great example of going wide receiver heavy in the first 2 rounds. You know, those running backs really fall off there really fast. But getting Miles Sanders in the 4th, I think that's great. I mean, obviously, Darrell Henderson was probably an auto-pick. I probably would have taken Monty there, a Miles Sanders, maybe Etienne in those areas if Etienne went 4-12. So this is a decent team, even though you kind of made a couple mistakes. Once again, from Brandon Cooks down, I think it's kind of irrelevant for me. So I think overall, it's a B plus actually, but the depth in the wide receiver room is just really, really hard for me. So maybe B flat for me.
I still like the Tariq Cohen pick. Honestly, last round
Yeah,
pick. I mean, look, like I've talked about, he could be a sneaky value that no one's thinking about.
Okay.
Especially in a PPR league. All right, Jack, teammate. You've got Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. What a crazy way to start. Tyler Lockett, Deebo Samuel, and DJ Chark. Running backs are Monty, Gaskin, Davis, Gainwell, Hawkins. So you got the cover there for Mike Davis. Quarterback is Herbert, and tight ends are Thomas and Jonnu Smith. I cannot lie. Like, you know, you might not have an elite running back, but getting Adams and Diggs in a PPR league, that's going to be so frustrating for anyone to play against. So frustrating. So
shout out to the Golden Dude for following there on Twitch. Thank you, brother.
Hey, big shout out. So honestly, I like this team. The fact that Justin Herbert fell to the 8th. And then the fact that you still got 3 reliable running backs to start. This is maybe one of the best teams. Tight end is the weakness, but
that's nasty.
Logan Thomas and Jonnu Smith
is good. It's a good it's a good dual threat kind of, just in case something happens to either one of those guys.
I'm gonna give this an A flat. This is an A flat team for me so far.
I think this is a good
team, which
is
crazy because he went wide receiver heavy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I like that team. Ryan, drafting first time with us here. Saquon Barkley, Joe Moneybag Mixon with J.D. McKissick is clear. It's your running back room that is weak. Only J.D. But you do get Say and Joe Mixon, which is crazy. So that's great for the 2 starting running backs. You got Terry, Roberto Woods, DJ Moore, T. Higgins, OBJ, Marvin Jones, and Cole Beasley. The wide receiver room is ridiculous here, so that's great value. With Russell Wilson at the A4, that's nasty. And then Bobby Tonyan. Trey Lance at the bottom there as well. I completely missed that. I'm trying to think. Obviously, it's a running back room. I think I probably would have tried to take in. I mean, who could you have taken? Maybe instead of going so much wide receiver heavy, I probably would have gotten another running back. Maybe a Kenneth Gainwell was available. Oh, no, it wasn't available. I'm trying to think, like, who could he have gotten?
Could have potentially gotten like
maybe not taking Odell, and it's not exciting, but maybe taking AJ Dillon potentially, a Tony Pollard potentially,
Zach Moss.
Kenyon Drake, Naeem Hines, Gus Edwards, just to have some running back depth just in case. But overall, this team is decent besides that running back room. So I'm going to give it a B+. Maybe another running back for me will really set it up. And then Trey Lance at the bottom there is just great, just because you can probably trade him for some value in another place.
Yeah. Hey, there's some questions in the chat, and we will get to them right after we do these mock draft grades. But one I want to quickly address is Aditya saying, How do I draft in these mocks with you guys? Super easy. You just have to join our Discord. Okay. The link is in the description on YouTube. And then on Twitch, if you go to our About section over there on Twitch, you'll find our Discord to be able to join it. That's where we drop the links for these. All right, let's give Team 10 a grade. What's up, Perkins? I don't know if Perkins is in a redraft league yet, our follower redraft league, or if he's thinking about it.
Perkins is definitely in one of our. I think he's in the league.
No, he's in a dynasty league. I know that.
Oh, dynasty.
I'm not sure if he's joined a redraft league yet or not, but I know he was potentially thinking about it. Let's see if he's got a good team here. He's got Jonathan Taylor, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Trey Sermon, Tony Pollard.
That's nice.
His wide receiver room is CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Chase Claypool, Cortland Sutton, McCole Hardman, Traquan Smith. Quarterbacks are Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence, and tight end is Irv Smith. This is a great team. I mean, look, the wide receiver room is great. The running back room is great. Getting Dak Prescott, I mean, you can't lose their dual threat guy, especially on the goal line. Sorry, I just heard my nephew scream.
Oh, your nephew. Okay.
Irv Smith is the tight end. That is the weakness of this team. You know, Irv Smith is not a guy that I want to start on a weekly basis. I think if you drafted Goddard at the 9-10 and then drafted, let's say, a Tevin Coleman at the 11-10, this team would look a little bit better. So I like Pollard, by the way. I don't dislike Pollard, but this is an A- team for me. You're super, super close. It's just the tight end position is not something I can rely on.
Okay. Grade your team here. What's the grade for this team? Did you give a grade?
I said A-.
Oh, sorry.
And Perk is already in the redraft league. That's my bad.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'll do both of these two just to finish it off. Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, Javonte Williams, and Tim Coleman. Good running back room. A-Rob, Chris Godwin, Juju, Laviska, Mooney, Corey Davis, Callaway with Lamar Jackson and Dallas Goedert. This is a good team. I think for me, obviously Juju is a little bit different. I know that was an auto pick and you probably would have went a different route. I think everyone here is a good pick. Just trying to think, how can I nitpick just to kind of say, just so that people can kind of understand what I would have done differently. There's not much. I think Devontae, Lamar is good. Juju, obviously, auto pick. Laviska, you know how I feel about him. He's a great guy. I mean, this is an A team. No doubt about it. This is a really good team, in my opinion. So
wow.
I'll give it an A. I mean, I can't really think of anything to say that's negative. If you have something negative to say, just say it in the chat because this team is shit. All jokes.
Cannon. I hate the Juju pick.
Yeah,
I wish because
still
imagine
good value,
I had
though.
Chenault and Tyler Boyd.
It's still decent though. Like Juju's not. It's not like he's not gonna do nothing. But yeah, I would have definitely like Chenault and Tyler Boyd or Chenault and Waddle potentially, whatever the case may be. But I think Juju, even though it was auto pick, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like my team is over. Cannon here.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, Chase Edmonds, AJ Dillon, Jamal Williams, Phillip Lindsay, Alexander Madison. It's a decent running back room, good depth. I think the Phillip Lindsay is interesting. I'm not excited about him. AJ Dillon is good. Jamal Williams, it looks like he's going to have a big role in that offense. So we're going to see what happens there. And then you took Patty with Amari Cooper, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Waddle, Curtis Samuel, got off pub list today, and then Russell Gage. I like this wide receiver room. I think for me, it falls off a little bit. I'm not excited for Curtis Samuel. I'm not a huge Curtis Samuel fan. I would have taken a Mooney over him. I would have taken Elijah Moore. He was on the board. Guys like that, a Bateman, maybe a Gallup, a Corey Davis even, maybe I'll take over Curtis Samuel. I'm just not a fan of him at the moment. I don't think it's really hard for me to see what his role is going to be, but maybe Zach can kind of tell you he's a Washington fan. And then Travis Kelce. Yeah. I think this is a good team. I like the Chase Edmonds pick, actually. After watching that preseason game, he looks like he's going to have some sort of role. Yeah. He's going to be really confident.
As your RB2?
Yeah, as the RB2, it's iffy.
It's a little scary.
But I think it's still decent getting him at the 6-1 as your RB2. But it's decent to kind of have him there.
Good value, yeah.
But there was also a lot of other people still on the board, or Ronald Jones, Damien Harris. But Chase Edmonds is decent. So I'm just going to give this a B flat. It's a good team. You have good, strong key pieces. But I think, the depth there kind of falls off in the running back room to really start confidently with the RB2.
All right, so that would mean drafter of the night is Jack, I believe, right? He's the only one who
Yeah,
got an A.
he's the only one that's gotten at least besides us. But yeah,
Can't
he
believe we gave ourselves A's. That's
well
such
we
like a
gave each other
douchebag thing to do.
like we didn't like
But normally we're so harsh on each other. I just liked your team.
yeah same.
Um. All right.
Let's
Well,
answer some
I think that
questions.
makes I mean, hype it up, Jack.
No, shout out to Jack.
Drafter of the
Come
night.
on. Yeah.
There you go, baby. If you guys don't know, we give out a drafter of the night. So big love to you, Jack, which is massively surprising because he went wide receiver heavy.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
That almost never works. But the fact that it was Adams and Diggs, and then you still got three like good starting running backs, that just kind of blew my mind. Especially the Justin Herbert at the 8th round, like that really sealed it for you. And then
Yeah.
Logan Thomas and Jonnu in the 12th, like that's just a really really good team. So well done.
Let's answer some of these questions.
Yeah, you go ahead and start.
I'm just trying to see where we kind of took off here. Jack Killer Drive. Okay, I'd take a B. Golden Dude, another one. Who wins on this is on Twitch? Logan Thomas, Darrell Henderson, and Kareem Hunt for Zeke. Darrell Henderson, interesting. This one's a little bit harder.
No, it's not.
I think for me, I'm not a huge fan of Darrell Henderson. So I mean, yes, he's gonna have a role.
It's the side of Henderson, Kareem Hunt, and Thomas for me.
Yeah, and I think, and you're right. I think when I say harder, like I think of Darrell Henderson being kind of like a throwaway pick, even though he will have a role this year. So I think of a Logan Thomas and Kareem Hunt. What are they bringing?
Darrell Henderson is not a throwaway pick.
No, I
He's
understand.
starting running back for the Rams.
I know he's not. Okay, maybe the term isn't throwaway is not the best, but
Throwaway
like,
pick is like a Javion Hawkins.
I think of
Yeah,
him.
who knows what happens?
I think of him as like someone that could lose a role depending on if Xavier Jones has a big role or Jake Funk. Depending, but yeah, I do agree. It is the other side. It is a side, but I think it doesn't.
For me, it's no question.
I think it doesn't.
This isn't even close.
It's not like, oh my gosh, yeah, let me jump on all those on the Logan Thomas, Darrell Henderson, and Kareem side. It's like, oh, let me think about that a little bit more and really break it down. That's my thought process.
No, not close for me. I mean, there's no way you can give up all of that for Zeke. Zeke's great, but I mean, those are still good running backs and a serviceable tight end. So it's a no for me.
Adisa, I think he said, how do I draft? Obviously, we said that. So go on our description and our Discord, and you can join the mock drafts. Whether you are on Twitch, that'll be in the About Me, and YouTube will be in the description. Chase, another question. Earlier, you said you can't go wrong between Henry and Elliott, but I want to ask: is there really a wrong answer between Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, and Jonathan Taylor?
At that point, it's really like, who do you believe in? So I think it really comes down to who do you actually believe in between those guys. I mean, so I guess no, but I'm personally in a PPR league. I think it has to be Eckler first, then Taylor, then Saquon, then Jones. But I think any way you kind of go in between it is fine. It's up to you and your preferences.
Yeah, I think it just really depends. I think if I had to put those guys in order, for me, it would probably be Saquon. I think if I'm not wrong about my rankings, it's Saquon, Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones for me at the moment.
Yeah. Deeth, yeah, I agree. I agree that I think where Darrell Henderson went here was too early at the 3-7. I agree, but I'm just saying in a trade scenario, like that's a valuable running back. So but yeah, I mean, this was fun. Thanks everybody for joining. We are going to record a podcast here soon. If you don't know, we have a podcast that's available on all platforms. Just type in Fantasyland Football, or you can find it in our descriptions and everything. But we're going to basically release our top 10 rankings for each position, not on this podcast, but over this week. So this podcast will do top 10 quarterbacks, then running backs and wide receivers throughout this week. We will also create content to put on YouTube from that. So we won't be releasing our entire rankings because our entire rankings are an unlock through Patreon.
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, really, really appreciate it. I'm so excited for what's happening over there on Twitch because We just started, but it looks like we're getting some people who are joining the community over there. So
Yeah.
that's really exciting. That's really encouraging. Big shout out to everyone on YouTube as well. We are so close to 1,000 subs. Well, in our mind, we are. We know we're 108 away. So
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting. But really appreciate you guys. Mock draft tomorrow night. If you want to be a part of it, it's a dynasty startup draft. Just join our Discord, and you'll be able to figure out how to be a part of that. Anything you want to say before we close?
No, I think another thing is for the new people, maybe on Twitch or here on YouTube. If you don't know, we do have redraft leagues or dynasty leagues that you can enter. It's also in the description below. Patreon.com/fantasylandfam. If you want to play fantasy football with the community or with Zach and I, we have a bunch of stuff there. You can unlock our rankings, a fantasy hotline with us, just a bunch of exclusive bonus stuff that we do. We have giveaways coming on throughout the season every Monday night, if I'm not mistaken, or hopefully if our if our partners kind of line up with that. But at the moment,
Not
it looks
every
like
Monday, no, but we'll do them every month.
yeah, we're doing them every month. So we're definitely going to be doing that. So if you want, patreon.com/fantasylandfam, 3 different tiers: redraft league, dynasty league, or you can play in both leagues. So that's really exciting. We only have a couple more spots left, so make sure you go on there and sign up as soon as possible, because I think there's 4 spots in one league and then 5 spots in the other league. So go as fast as you can.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right,
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining. Really, really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be releasing a podcast. We're about to record it here. If you want to find us, you can find us on any podcast platform, Fantasyland Football. And join the Discord to join tomorrow night. But peace.
Deuces, y'all.